Sometimes we listen to a song and think, man, I wish I could play like that. And then we think, but it's way too hard. We might be wrong though. If you can play a few chords and all your fingers work, you can easily learn to play Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Today we're going to learn the main riff for Fast Car, how the main riff is used to make the intro and the interlude, how the main riff is used to play the verse, and we're also going to learn the chorus. Fast Car, like many great songs, is built from one great riff. The riff is 2 measures long, and I'm going to provide a separate little drill down into hammer-on, and you can see it in the link at the top here. Okay, so we're playing with our thumb and first 2 fingers on our right hand, and we're just pinching basically, and I'm playing the A string on the bottom and G and B on the top, and the G is just open. I'm hammering onto the B string. Then I'm taking that finger off and I'm plucking G and B. And that's the first sound. Here's measure 1, close up. Second half of the measure, I'm just expanding the fingers out like this. Pinky on D string, ring finger on the low E string, and I'm pinching the same B and G. And then I'm picking the B. And that's the whole first riff. Now I'm moving to an E minor up at the 7th fret, relative to the capo, the 7th fret. And I've got my ring finger on 8 and my pointer on 7. And I'm playing G and B again on the top and the A string on the bottom. So I'm playing this pinch. Then I'm moving my middle finger down to the 7 on B, and I'm playing open D, open G, and the 7 on B. And I'm doing that same pick the B and G strings again. This is the main riff. This is the main riff of Fast Car. So, this is the main riff. You'll have to practice it slowly and carefully at first. Practice it over and over again because that's how it played in the song. Pay close attention to the hammer-on. It sounds intentional. It sounds like you're playing ba-doo. Just like that. Practice the riff over and over again at a speed you can manage until it starts to sound a bit fluid. And then we move on to step 2. The intro of Fast Car is basically 4 repetitions of the main riff, but on repetition 3 we play a slight variation on the second measure. So the first measure, measure 5, is the same. So then when I get to measure 5, I play this. Then I play 10, 8 on the B string. Then I pinch 7 and 0. And then I play 8, 7 on the B string. Okay, here's how measure 5 and 6 sound together. Okay, that's that. I'm just going to play the main intro. That's the special riff from measure 6 of the intro. Once you can play measure 5 and 6 together nicely, then review the whole intro and work through it at a slow tempo until it flows. Do it many times. After each verse of Fast Car, there is a 4-measure interlude. As you can hear, this is just the first 4 measures of the intro. You already know how to play this section. Okay? Practice playing this section in context though. When you start practicing the song, play a verse and then switch to this section. It's very slightly different from the verse. And then go back to your verse. So you can practice going back and forth and you'll become accustomed to the slight difference between the 2 parts. The vocal verse of Fast Car is a very slight variation on measure 1 and measure 2 of the intro. Okay? It's just repeated over and over again as an accompaniment to the vocals. Here's the verse pattern. Here you can see that measure 1 is exactly the same as in the intro. Measure 2 is where there's a difference. Here's the new riff in the second measure. So here's measure 2 of the verse riff. There's a little difference in each part. Here we're doing, at the beginning, we're doing the E minor grip, then a second pull on G and B, then we're doing the usual grip here on the D, where we're holding down the 7 on the B string, pulling all 3 strings, D, G, and B. Now, instead of just playing B, next, we're playing B and G, and then a repeated G. So here's the whole of measure 2 of the verse. Okay? That's the verse riff. Because we're planning on singing over this, you will need to practice this section quite a bit. Build up a comfort level with the melody and the rhythm before you begin to work on singing out loud. Okay. The vocal chorus of Fast Car is very different from the verse. Here we're strumming, but it's a very simple strum. The first 4 lines of the chorus are very similar. We are using chord variations to create a melodic accompaniment that follows the vocal melody. Let's look at those lines one by one. Here's chorus line 1. The chords are C and C major. All we're doing with this is we're just playing a single strum and then 2 faster strums. Driving in your car. Line 2, same rhythm, but now we're going a G. I play the G like this. It's a G add 9. We're adding the A, okay? For the keeners, the 9th note in G major is the note A, which is the 2nd fret of your G string. Okay, so here's your G. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. The next one is E and E minor 7. You probably already know these ones. City light lay out before us. And then a D sus4 is just a D with the pinky added and then taken away and re-added. Arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I felt I was drunk. City lights laid out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. Okay, that's the end of the first 4 lines of the chorus. The final 2 lines of the chorus are a little bit different, both very similar, and they have a climax component to them, which corresponds to the lyric, of course. Here's line 5 of the chorus, the first of the last 2 lines. The line begins with a small crescendo. We're playing a barred C chord at the 3rd fret and then a barred E minor chord at the 7th fret. Again, these are all relative to the capo. Tracy Chapman plays this song with the capo on too. I'm playing it with the capo so you can practice along with Tracy Chapman on the recording on YouTube. Okay. I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone. And then it ends with a short crescendo of C to D. Be someone, be someone. So that's what's happening. That's at the end of the chorus. So today we learned the main riff for Fast Car, how the main riff is used to make the intro and the interlude in Fast Car. We learned how to play the verse of Fast Car, which is basically just a simple repeating 2-measure riff. And we learned how to play the chorus of Fast Car, looking a little bit at the rhythm and also the chords that we're going to play. As we saw, if we break a song like this down into its components and zoom in on the components a little bit, it's very achievable. You will have to practice it a fair amount, but you can master a song like this. Just learn one part of the song at a time and then practice it a lot. If you're looking for more songs that are easy to learn but sound way more complicated than they really are, grab one of these videos that's showing up here and help yourself. Please subscribe and like, and come on back to Bonner Guitar again soon.